dad?
I have that down.
Okay. Yeah, basically he got banned from Kickstart.
I have that on hers.
Oh, shit.
I literally asked you just to talk about the car.
Oh, sorry. I talked about like the whole thing going into that. But anyway, that's all that.
Literally, that's all on Maddie's card.
Overachievers. Hey, Pookies!
And welcome back to another video. Today we have, as always, the lovely Madison.
Oh, stop.
The always gorgeous Sophia.
Oh.
And Natalie.
And the beautiful Natalie!
Immaculate.
Amazing Natalie!
No.
Thank you.
No. Okay. Today we have no fun things because I'm a loser and didn't have time to make a fun game.
Not true.
No. So womp womp. So if you randomly hear us like starting games or something, we're just trying to figure out to like, yeah.
Don't be mad if I start playing I Spy with y'all. Okay, I'll be like, what? Like, I spy something orange. You're not going to know which one I mean.
Exactly. There you go. Maybe that's what we'll do. Just randomly start yelling I Spy.
I like
And
that game.
then think about what we're thinking.
Nostalgic.
Thanks for tuning in.
Today our topic is Jake Doherty. I said it right. Don't give you that.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about, like, this person, this individual, but.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Jake Doherty, specifically his recent scandal, and we're going to go from, like, what he used to do, what he was known for, the accident, and then the repercussions, or, like, what happened after the accident. So those are our 3 segues for the topic. I'm first, I guess, so I'll start.
Yes.
Yay. So Jake Doherty, he's most known for being on Kick, and he goes on live, I believe, on Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat. I know he has a YouTube channel, but I'm not 100% on Snapchat, but I feel like he would because he's young.
He's making so much money. You'd think he'd try to broaden on Snapchat, too.
A lot of people have referenced him as, like, the next David Dobrik or, like Jake Paul House, where he
Like
does
Team
like
10.
Team 10,
Yeah.
like he does like a lot of that stuff.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, he got famous at 13 for like flipping pen caps and bottles like 13 times in a row or something, but he was a kid, so you know, like that's normal. And it was around the time of like the bottle flip challenge and stuff. But recently how he got more famous was he would like ride around on his dirt bike, and which he says in the video that it is not street legal.
Yep.
Yeah, he's riding his dirt bike, again, not street legal, on the street and playing loud music, and he's like, I'm going to the Karen's house, like, and she could call the cops, and like, I know my bike's not street legal, and all this other stuff, which also he was under the age of 18, I believe, at this time, so at like a law is if you like ride a bicycle or a motorcycle or a dirt bike, you have to have a helmet on a certain age. And I'm pretty sure he was not of age yet, so he had to wear a helmet. Wasn't. And also was playing loud music, so those are all things that he did that was illegal.
Yay! Young influencers or influency people watching it and be like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you know, gross.
Yeah.
Not what we should be promoting, but, you know.
No. So he would make videos going to Karen's house, trying to get like a reaction from this Karen. And I'm in quotations because like I get it. There are Karens. Karens are Karening that are crazy. Karening that are crazy.
Yeah.
But he like drives his motorcycle or his dirt bike to this woman's house, and he's like, she could take my bike away. She could call the cops and they'd take my bike away. I'm doing this for you guys. And it's like, so you're disrupting somebody's life because for views? Like, no, it's not for them. It's because you want views, and you know it'll get you views from the younger audience.
It's just agitating.
Me. Facts.
Yeah.
So he went to this woman's house. Like, he's known for the Karen thing where he would go to this lady's house, ride his dirt bike, like, back and forth, like, rev it and stuff right in front of her house, and play loud music right in front of it. And he's filming all of this. So he's driving with one hand, filming himself. And also, he's, like, Well, yeah, he's like not driving appropriately. He has one hand off. He's like holding his camera up like in front of her house. And then he films the front of her house. So he's like doxing her, showing everyone her address so that they could find her. And he's
putting her in a bad light too. So having the address and putting her in that kind of light is
crazy.
Not safe for her.
Yeah.
Like, that could put her in serious
and
danger.
She has children too. The internet's quick to find.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say is that she talks about she has children and she's like, you've driven by my house 3 times. And he's like, I'm pretty sure it's only been twice.
Yep.
And she's like, no, it's been 3 times. I was counting. And she's like, I have children. Like, please don't do this. Like, stop, like, harassing me. And he's like, actually, you're harassing me.
Yep.
And it's like, you're in front of her house. Well, what do I know?
Recording her house.
Yeah, recording her house. And he's done other videos, like, where he ding-dong ditched her house and stuff. So, because of this, he ended up going on Dr. Phil.
I love Dr. Phil.
Have you seen this episode?
No, I just was him.
I saw the clip of it, of him
the clip of it.
being, like, interviewed by him.
So he was interviewed by Dr. Phil, and he brought the supposed Karen out to talk about, like, the videos and, like, trying to, like, bring light to Jack and be like, listen, like, what you're doing is harassing her. Like, she's not a Karen. You're making it seem like she's a Karen, but it's because you're going out of your way to bother her. And it's just because she's an adult that you want her to be a Karen, but she's not. Like, and he's like, well, I feel like you're not. He's like, I will apologize, but I feel like you're not giving my side of the story.
Yeah, he didn't even, like, actually
He
apologize.
didn't apologize. He's like, I will apologize. He's like, I'm sorry, but I feel like you're also not giving my side of the story. And it's like, apology never has but in it.
Like, just apologize. That's it.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Because he is in the wrong. I don't care if you're a kid or not. He was still old enough to understand that what he was doing was wrong, and his parents knew about it. Because she even called his dad when he was on the dirt bike and told his dad, like, hey, this is what your son's doing. Like, could you please pick him up or, like, do something because he's, like, harassing me. And she hung up on his dad, and he's like, my dad was about to agree with you, but you just hung up on him, so now he's not.
What?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So Dr. Phil got nowhere with him because he is a negligent child. Not Dr. Phil, obviously. But,
What's the parents too, to be honest?
yeah. Jack did not get anywhere with Dr. Phil because he spoiled pompous butthole. And he's most known, not just from the Karen videos and Dr. Phil, but he's also known for, like, rolling his dirt bikes, his golf carts, and other, like, 4-wheelers and stuff where, like, he'll run into things. But he's, like, known for, like, getting these, like, really expensive, like, toys, and he, like, rolls them, like, for videos. And, like, the golf cart one, his girlfriend was in the golf cart, and he rolled it to her side, and he's literally, like, standing. And, like, that means he's, like, standing on his girlfriend or, like, right in between where if he, like, slipped, he could step on her. After he just rolled the golf cart, she's, like, on the ground.
Oh, fuck. Yo, oh, McKinley, you okay? No! McKinley, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, McKinley. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. McKinley. No, oh, fuck. You don't tell us, this didn't happen.
Like,
Girl.
Like, bro, what?
like, you would think he would drive like, she's even, like, saying, like, oh, yeah, go fast, and then he goes fast, and she's like, actually, stop, and he, like, turns, because he's turning, and that's what rolled over the golf cart.
Like, if you're gonna have these, like, expensive toys, like, know how to use them. Like, don't be doing dumb stuff like that, especially with other people being in danger.
That was
Especially
my
the girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah.
The title girlfriend, you should.
Treat her with some respect.
Yeah. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like you wouldn't want to put her into, like, harm's way, but you're the one that's literally, like, saying, like, oh, T, like,
It's fine.
yeah.
It's not fun.
So leading up to that, he obviously did a lot of videos of rolling his toys. Well, now we get into Sophia's topic where he actually totaled a real car.
Yes. So at the time of this event, he was 21, or he's still 21, but he was 21 in Miami when he crashed his McLaren, which is like, it was like a bright blue with, I think, like pink and yellow.
Like
it was
stripes
like,
on it. It looked like very 80s or 80s or 90s
Yeah.
vibes, but like Mr. Beast colors.
yeah, pretty much like that blue.
Literally.
And basically, like, okay, so when you're looking at the video that was being recorded, or like the
He was
live,
on live stream.
he had one hand on the wheel. He was speeding, so you can look at the speedometer. It was crazy rain. Yeah, I saw in the comments. Someone was like, you can look at the speedometer. He was literally speeding in the crazy rain, looking at his phone, all while streaming.
You know what's crazy?
All while streaming.
He also said, too, he's like, yeah, I don't like to drive in this type of rain. Like, it's really bad rain. And a McLaren is, like, a very fast car. And if, like, you don't know how to drive a car in general, because, like, obviously we learned that from the golf carts and the other things he's had, you should not be driving that fast of a car that quickly then. And in the rain, especially Miami.
And being distracted, like literally being on, like both of them, like one of them recording and then one being on their own phone, like him, Jack, driving. And then basically what happened is they go back to streaming again after like the crash actually happens, because you see like it cut off, like when he actually like crashes the car.
Well, yeah.
Hello everyone. So there was copyright music in his live stream, so we had to remove the audio for this portion. But what's happening is he's driving, Jack Doherty is driving, and he is on his phone, and then he proceeds to lose control of his vehicle.
Oh, fuck. No, watch out, watch out. Oh, fuck, open the door, open the door, open your door. We're locked in here.
So you see him, he's on his phone. And they literally catch this on live, because again, he's live streaming.
Yeah.
He's on his phone texting. He looks up, and then they start hydroplaning, which if you don't know what that is, it's when your car tires like aren't catching, so you spin, and like what you're supposed to do is like not like mess with the car, because you could like get your finger stuck or something, but it also like can mess with the torque of the car, right? Okay, good. So like you see him try to turn, he's like, we're hydroplaning, and then like you just see like light, and then it like cuts.
Yeah, it just cuts. So then after that, him and his friend Michael, they get out like safely, like they are out of the car, and as we said, they go back to live, and literally this dude Jack, he puts his camera like.
Hey guys, so this is an editor's note. This is Natalie. So I'm rewatching the video of the car crash, and I was looking at his gauge for how fast he was going, and he didn't go 90. He was going, I want to say the highest was 63 it showed, and when he crashed he was going exactly 45 miles per hour. So I don't know where Sophia saw 90 or who saw 90, but that is not correct. And then also we didn't know how him and his friend got to the hospital or like left the scene of the incident. Apparently he has a Tesla, and he also had someone drive his Tesla behind him, and that's how they ended up getting to the hospital. I don't know if his friend was there, but I will check back in with you guys, because we weren't sure if his friend ended up going in the ambulance due to his injuries. But when I figure that out, I will check back in. But that is all for editor's note now. Bye.
In Michael's face, who literally you can see it, like he's bleeding, like on his like head.
On his, I believe
like
it's
on
his left or right side. It's one of his head. It's like at his temple.
Yeah, like
which means
literally.
that he hit his head or hit something to his head, which is really dangerous, especially towards the temple.
Yeah, no, like it was like you could see it.
But he also like in the original video that I initially saw was that he was also like holding his arm, like the camera guy was holding his arm, like he hurt his arm, and I'm like,
this man is hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, poor dude. One, he's bleeding.
Guys, so editor's note again, I just forgot to say this before. Also, when I was rewatching the video, apparently he knew that he was going to crash his car, or he didn't know, but he kept stating it. Jack Doherty kept saying, oh, I'm probably going to crash this car, like it's raining really bad and I'm going to crash it. And he goes, I spent a lot of money on this steering wheel that doesn't work. And he even looked to the camera while he's driving that he did not, he didn't even know if his airbags worked. And his airbags did deploy, thankfully, saving him and his friend's life most likely. But like, it was just crazy for him to actually verbally say that. And I'm going to show that clip in a little bit. But I just wanted to jump on here and say it now because we never talked about it in our actual podcast video. But it was just so, like, oh, I'm gobsmacked, honestly. Him saying that. And he was also looking at his phone more and talking about how he's looking at the chat and the chat is telling him to like not be texting and driving. And he literally looked at the camera and was like, I'm not texting. He goes, I'm looking at the chat, obviously, because I care more about you guys than me driving in a hurricane safely. He literally says that. Not like verbatim, but he says that that is like what he says, basically. That's the premise. But I'm going to post that, or I'm going to eventually upload that to this video somewhere. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick because we never talked about it, and I didn't even know about this until now. So that's it for editor's note again.
Literally, guys, you can't see shit. I'm most likely going to crash this car. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully not. This is bad. Spent like $4 grand on a goddamn steering wheel for it not to work ever. Isn't that crazy? And the airbag I don't even think works. I'm cooked if I die. Dangerous when you're watching your phone. I gotta read chat. No, I'm kidding. Guys, even in a fucking hurricane, I'm prioritizing my chat. You know I love you.
So after watching the video, I found this little clip, and the airbags did deploy. So they obviously worked.
I know. I was like, poor dude, one, he's bleeding, and then two, he looks like his arm is busted because he was probably holding the camera that was live streaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like if like the car, because when you see the car, which I'll post a photo right here or eventually through this video, like you can literally see that the front windshield was like the car was smushed in.
Yeah,
Like, the whole
it
front. So if he's like holding something in glass, like shattered the camera or did something to the camera or whatever they were using to film, and like he like pinned his arm because he was holding the camera a certain way,
Yeah.
like that could have definitely hurt his arm, or he could have broke his arm or something.
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
Airbag too.
oh my gosh, yeah, the airbags had to deploy, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, I think so. I think
I'll
from
have
the
to look
photo.
I'll have to look at the
yeah.
video. I'll put it up here.
But of
if
course,
you
him
want.
being the passenger, of course, he seems to be the one that gets most to her. And I was like, that
Well,
sucks.
did you know passengers usually have the ones that
They
get
are.
hit?
That's why I was like,
I wonder why.
it's not a surprise.
It's because usually the driver tries to protect themselves. Like it's like an instinct thing. Like it's not like to be rude, but usually like the driver, like it's instinctive that you're gonna protect your side. So like if you roll, you're gonna roll
You're
the
gonna,
other way.
yeah. Yeah, so he was all bloody, and then Jack was he was just being super annoying, saying, no way, my car's totaled, like, oh my gosh, like, just being, like, overly dramatic, but also, like, still live streaming this, so it's like, if you really felt that way, wouldn't you just cut the cameras at that point?
He made multiple YouTube videos off
Yes,
of this.
yeah,
Multiple.
Yep.
So it's like you live streamed this like in live time, like did this, and then also like edited the video to post it multiple times when you were obviously in the wrong. And he could have cut out like on live, obviously people would have clocked him anyways, but he could have cut out the part where he's like, he looks at his friend and he's like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, here, take my phone.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He literally made his injured friend, like, record him and just, like being...
With two cameras. With
Yeah.
his phone and another phone, or, like, with a camera in his phone.
Yeah.
Like, he had two recordings.
And he's just all like, oh my gosh, my car's
And he's like,
What did you expect?
He's like, get everything. Like, film everything.
yeah.
And it's like...
Asking this from the friend who's injured. Okay. Sure.
Literal blood gushing
Yes.
down his face.
Wait, take a selfie.
Like, how could you really be thinking of making content, like, in this moment?
All I gotta say is, hold on.
Find the right one.
It's a car horn.
We'll see later how that sounds.
Oh wait, I have booing too.
Boo, boo.
Go back and hear that.
Same.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just had to do that because angry.
Yes, same. It was so cringy. Like, ugh. But then basically the next video part of it, you kind of see the first responders helping Michael. But Jack.
Hey guys, editor Natalie back. So after watching more videos, and especially from Jack Doherty's post that he made initially about the accident, it did show not only did the airbags deploy, but apparently his girlfriend and I believe his brother and some of his other friends were in their Tesla following them behind. And so they were right behind him after he had the incident. So Jack ended up going into the Tesla on the way back to his house and to the hospital. His friend, though, Michael, the one person that was holding the camera, his camera guy, did actually end up getting stitches in his top of his head and his right eyebrow, and his nose was also cut, but no stitches were there. And also, he did actually apparently, allegedly, dislocate his shoulder when people were trying to help him out of the car. So apparently he was pulled out his camera guy just because of the car was smoking, because it did hit the engine. But I just wanted to say that because we weren't sure if he did go in an ambulance to the hospital or if somebody drove him. But after I watched the video, his friend, it did seem that he did go in the ambulance, and because it was pouring down rain, they did end up checking his friend Michael in the ambulance eventually once they decided to take him to the hospital because he needed stitches. And like I do say later on, in the event of him having a concussion or whiplash or anything like that, any sort of head or neck injury or trauma, they did end up taking him in the ambulance. So, but they did check Jack or Jake. Sorry, I'm not sure how to say his name. I'm so bad at that. But after they did check in with Jake to see who was in the car, because like I said, his girlfriend and brother were following behind him, so they were there talking to him after they saw that he crashed. To see if he was okay, and sheriff's office and other first responders like EMTs and firefighters did double check with Jake to make sure that he was okay, and Jake said that he was okay, and he just wanted to make sure Michael, his camera guy, was okay. So that is all for updates right now. If I have more, I will pop back in.
Only cares about the angles, and when the first responders are telling him to like kind of like move away and like stop recording and stuff, he's just like, no, like I need to make my money back.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, what?
This nice first responder lady, I don't know if she was a cop or a firefighter or a paramedic or EMT or whatever, but she literally was like, dude, I understand this is what you do, but you need to back up and stop recording because your friend is hurt, and we're trying to like assess the situation, and like you shouldn't be filming this, like we need to like take care of him. And he goes, well, ma'am, no offense, but I just lost $3 million or $2 million on a car. I need to make my money back somehow. And it's like, off of your friend's injury, which you caused?
Which you literally caused.
No, this ma'am,
Yeah.
she's literally trying to do her job to help your friend that you did bodily injury to. And you're like, oh.
Why? Like, why isn't that your first priority
Yeah,
for
I
your
would've
friend?
been, like in tears, like.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, are you okay? What can I do?
We
Like,
got the cameras now.
I
Like,
think
literally.
I would like live with that guilt. Although,
Right.
honestly, like I'm one of those people. Like, if I hurt somebody,
oh, I feel horrible.
I would rather have been the one completely injured,
Yeah,
and I would still feel bad.
me.
No,
Like, I would
literally.
every Christmas, like you get the best gift, like every birthday.
I take care of you. Here's some soup.
I'm so sorry. Every other day, it's gonna be brutal.
So yeah. And then we were kind of watching Swoop's video
Oh, yeah.
on it, and there was like a part that Natalie is going to address it because she asked a question kind of to the crowd,
Yeah.
like a rhetorical question.
Yeah, so Swoop said, like, if you're a first responder, or like if you've worked in this profession or have been helped, like if you could comment down below, like, do they usually help people out like in the open? Because they had their accident, I want to say like on I-75 or on a highway in Miami, and usually anywhere that there's a car accident, they won't put you in the ambulance, or like, because they have to decide. So in that moment, you were like asked all these things. We ask you like, are you feeling okay? Like there's all these questions that you have to go down the list. Then you also ask like, do you want to go to the hospital right now, or will someone take you to the hospital? Like, do you have means of transportation? Because we will take you, but a lot of people don't like to take the, of course, unless they're like super injured and they cannot like make a decision, or like they're like, if they're in a C-collar or like something really bad, like this accident was really bad, but obviously his friend was okay and his friend was conscious, because I would say that they'd probably be more concerned about a concussion.
Yeah,
That he could have been sat in an ambulance. But because of like how his friend was acting and responding, and he was able to get out of the car, and he was able to like, I'm guessing, understand the correct like they ask you questions like, do you know your name, do you know where you are, and all these stuff. If he passed that, then he can be outside. But usually we try to bandage anything we can at the scene right there, and then we ask, do you want to go on an ambulance? They don't like to put people in ambulances unless it's like pouring down rain or something. But it's because it's just, and the road is blocked off. Like Swoop, like you can, in Swoop's video and like the video he posted, you can see cars coming, but first responders like know like how to block the trucks a certain way so that if someone isn't paying attention or hits their car or something, no one should get injured anymore. But they usually try to keep it not in the ambulance, because then the ambulance would have to go and clean their stretcher and everything. So that's why they usually don't put people in the ambulance unless they want to be transported. We usually try to do anything as quick as possible. Like they probably were stopping the bleeding, realized that it was probably too deep, and were concerned about concussion. Like even if he didn't show signs of a concussion, he still could have a head injury, and that would be my first concern, or whiplash, or so those would be my concerns. And I would be like, I suggest you go to the hospital. And like some people like ask if we go to the hospital like today, will they still take us really quickly? And they also have to sign a waiver, like saying like, I chose not to go to the hospital even though the first responder suggested it. I chose not to go by ambulance. Like there's so many waivers that they sign. But like we usually tell people like within 24 to 48 hours you can go to the hospital. We suggest that if you like if you feel weird, because concussions sometimes don't come on right away. Like I've had a concussion that took about 24 to 48 hours to hit me, like where I couldn't like look at lights or anything.
That's scary if it's not like right away. Like you don't even know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's
a brain bruise, so like it can develop faster or slower sometimes. It depends on the severity and what was happening. But we usually tell patients, like, if you have pain or certain symptoms, like, go right away. Tell them the situation that you were in a car accident, and within 24 to 48 hours, they usually treat you pretty quickly because you were in a car accident within 24 to 48. After 48 hours, they're usually like, well, you waited 3 days, so I think you're okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, but no, I know I'm, like, rambling, but, yeah, so we usually don't treat in ambulance because unless the patient's like, yes, I want to go, then you'll get treated in an ambulance. But I'm guessing they didn't take an ambulance because I'm sure he would have recorded
them in the ambulance unless they were like, not cut the cameras.
I mean, I feel, well, no, because where would his car, he wouldn't have been able to go. I mean, so in the ambulance it's kind of weird because you usually don't have like somebody else in the ambulance unless you're a child. And then like obviously like a guardian or a parent or someone comes with you. But like, he didn't have a car either, so like I don't know how they got to the hospital.
Well, probably the parents probably picked them up.
Right?
No, because they
met.
because they met up with the parents like after.
At his house.
At his house, yeah.
After they went to the hospital. Because I don't know where he's from, but I know they were in Miami when this accident happened.
So they must have had to travel like all the way back, like to wherever his parents
live. But they had like
live.
a really nice van, and someone was like chauffeuring them from the hospital to the house. So I'm like, maybe he had friends or like his parents had somebody that picked him up, because his parents like seem very well off.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they called a friend or somebody to pick him up and his friend and bring him back to the house, since he didn't have like his car was totaled, like they towed it away.
Yeah. There's no way.
There's no coming back from that.
No, his engine gone. So yeah, no. I'm guessing that's what happened because I don't remember an ambulance like seeing him. Because I feel like even if he didn't go in the ambulance or like couldn't, like if Jake, or his name's Jake.
Michael. Oh, you're talking about Jack. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm sure if Jack wasn't allowed in the ambulance, he still would have filmed his friend getting in an ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was trying to get.
That's what. So I feel
maybe
like his friend refused the ambulance, but said he'd go into the hospital by his own accord, and then that's when they got treated.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very common for first responders not to treat in an ambulance due to that reason of like sanitation, because then they'd have to go to a hospital or go back to the station, change everything, and it's just a whole process. Unless it's really necessary, then we obviously would have somebody in the ambulance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hi, it's Natalie again. I just wanted to recap what I said before. So after watching the video, I did see that they ended up getting put in the ambulance to be treated, especially his friend Michael, who was injured and bleeding from the head. He actually was in the ambulance, but because we try to keep people away and not like their privacy, especially in those situations where they're vulnerable. Oh my goodness, can't speak. Vulnerable. He didn't get to film. All I did see was that Jake was in there as well, sitting in the back because it did end up pouring down rain. And what I did notice is that he actually was picked up by his girlfriend and his brother, like I said before, that they were following them in a different vehicle behind them. So his friend Michael actually ended up going into the ambulance and getting transported by the ambulance to a hospital. And they ended up meeting, his girlfriend and his brother ended up taking Jake to the hospital to pick up Michael after he was treated and after they were both seen and checked on. But they had to wait till Michael obviously had his stitches and everything. So they did actually end up treating him in the ambulance because it was pouring down rain and he was told, or he chose to go in the ambulance or go to the hospital by ambulance. But I didn't see that previously, so I am sorry. But yes, this is to Swoop and anybody else who is wondering. Like I said, we do treat people in the ambulance. If they say that they want to go to the hospital, and we do encourage people to go to the hospital, especially with a car accident, you don't know what happened, you weren't there, and especially since the airbags did go off, it is really unsafe, and you're not 100% sure if, like, there's so many other things with the brain and just so many other things that could have occurred that you don't know about because you weren't there. So we just want to make sure that everyone feels safe and they want to go. But obviously we can't force anybody to go if they don't want to. So to Swoop and anybody else that was wondering, we usually do treat people in the ambulance, but if they don't want to go to the ambulance, we're not going to put them in the ambulance if they can be treated really quick outside. But I did notice that it did start pouring even harder. It was like kind of drizzling initially when the ambulance and the firefighters got there, but after the ambulance was there for a while, it did seem that the rain got way worse. So they did end up moving both of them to get checked, in the ambulance. So that is it for now. And I will be posting the video right here of them in the ambulance and everything, just so that you can see what I saw, because I did not see this in Swoop's doc either. But I just wanted to pop in and say that I was wrong because I didn't see this before, but now seeing it, I know that he was treated in the ambulance. So that's all.
He's okay, you know? He's okay though, so don't worry. I know, me too. Right before it happened, I had a feeling it happened. That's terrible. I know. Just had this weird feeling like the traffic building up. Alright, Mom, I'll call you later.
That's why, Swoop. Sorry for my long ramblings.
No, we love. Yeah, thankfully, what I thought about this whole thing is honestly, I'm glad that they didn't hit, like, Jack didn't just hit somebody else. Yeah. Like, this was like their own personal, like, situation, because imagine, like, somebody, their car getting hit in impact, like, from that happening, and then, like, him trying to record their car, and, like, them being like, oh man, I hit these people, like.
That's what Swoop was saying, and I was like, I could not imagine, because, like, she also was saying that, like, obviously he has no issue, like, filming random people, especially if he gets profited off of it, and he's the one that caused it. But in the same thing, it's like what Trisha had to say about this was Trisha's like, I don't know why he would live stream and then put it on YouTube, because he's literally doing crimes. Yeah. He's on his phone while driving in the rain. Like, that's all a crime is, even on your phone driving.
Get demonetized. Cancel.
There's like several.
Yeah, there was like several laws. Like, he's over the speed limit by like a certain amount that he could have definitely got ticketed for. But you can catch all that in the video. So the fact that like he's filming all this, he should be in jail.
No, literally. And like the fact that there were different videos like that he was posting, and then the whole watch thing, the whole watch joke. Basically, he literally made the same joke, but then once when his shirt was off, and then the other time when it was on. And
also, I hate that he took his shirt off. He took his shirt off, ran to his friend, hugged him, and was like, "Are you okay?" After he had someone grab his phone to film him hugging his friend. I'm like, why? Why do you have your shirt off? You're not getting that many views just because your shirt's off. No one cares.
No, and it's the fact that you did the joke twice. Twice.
So
cringe.
As his car's being towed away, no one cares about your watch.
At least my watch is okay.
And wasn't it cracked? Wasn't his watch cracked? I thought it was cracked.
I couldn't tell from the photo, from the video, but I just assumed it was okay if he was saying that it was okay.
Yeah, I feel bad for his friend too, because we'll get to Maddie's topic, but just in the hospital, what I assumed what they were doing is either gluing or suturing his head. That's what it looks like from what I could tell.
Yeah.
They're obviously cleaning it, but he's filming there, and he's just sitting there filming his friend while he's in the hospital getting treated.
Right.
When he had no injury to him.
He's just in the chair with his little
with his hospital gown.
His little hospital gown.
Do you think he took his friend's hospital gown?
Yeah, and was oh man, wouldn't it be funny if I wore this for the video?
And his friend's probably getting more blood on his outfit.
Tweaking.
I literally, if I
lose it.
If I was Michael, Michael, you should leave. Bad friend.
Leave that friendship. That's abuse. That's friendship
or
abuse.
If he works for him, leave. That's a bad job. Bad corporate. Bad person.
And then the last part that I see is he's vlogging, going back to his parents' home.
Oh, I already had that.
Oh yeah,
I had that on hers.
Oh, you did? Oh, so should I just... Okay, yeah, well, basically, we'll get
talk about it, and then Maddie can talk about it.
Okay, yeah, basically all I was going to say was he's, recording, or having somebody record his mom in a vulnerable state. She's, obviously upset and wants to, hug him, and...
Well, so I put this on Maddie's card, but basically what it was is that this was the first time his mom had seen him after hearing that he was in an accident.
Right.
And I don't mean, a fender bender, which can also be very bad. Any accident is bad. But he, their car, they're lucky to be alive, honestly.
Yeah.
For their windshield not to shatter on them. It was shattered, and, their engine was, completely smushed in. The fact that they weren't pinned or anything else happened to them, they're very lucky.
Right.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And, basically she was just, cut the cameras, don't record me right now. She just wanted to have a moment with her son because anything could have happened to them, in that situation.
You could never know what happens with, anything, especially driving. It's one of the most dangerous things that we do. That,
And they still filmed it, yeah. That's why I was like...
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my, honestly, first red flag for, this video specifically, not what I talked about, was that he, checked on his friend for a second, handed him the phone, and was record me. 2, he then kept pestering his friend. 3, he was, filming in the hospital when, again, you're in a vulnerable state, and his friend's probably, trying to, think about everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
process what he just
alive
went
and
through.
Yeah.
Shock.
And then his mom, that's the first time she's seen him after the accident, her probably thinking, oh my God, this could have happened, all the possibilities that could have happened, and all she wants to do is see her son that she possibly could have never had seen again.
And he just cares about recording the interaction.
Don't
She
film me.
she literally said, I wrote on Maddie's card, and, the mom literally said, please don't film me, she's crying.
Yeah.
And they proceed to film her, and she's, hugging him. Yeah, he posted this.
Yeah, you posted it!
I'm like, oh my God.
And then the dad.
Oh, I have that down.
Okay. Yeah, basically he got banned from Kickstart.
I have that on hers.
Oh, shit.
I literally asked you just to talk about the car.
Oh, sorry. I talked about the whole thing going into that. But anyway, that's all that.
Literally, that's all on Maddie's card.
Overachiever, sorry.
I'm like, take it away.
I was like, yo, hear this. So anyways.
Maddie, are you out of wine?
What? No, I got a little sip or 3. Good 3. No, so kind of on the same topic. His dad is saying he didn't text while driving, causing the incident, correct?
Yeah, his dad. So after his mom filmed.
Yes, when she
Yeah,
didn't want
and
to
she
be.
said, please don't film me. He then was like on a 4-wheeler. His parents like bought him like something else. So
Yeah.
he was like messing with that. And he's like, I'm just happy that you're okay. And he's like, to all the haters that are saying that my son was texting, he wasn't. Literally, he filmed it. You can see he's not texting. And Swoop like kept like going back to the video of him like literally looking at his phone. I'm sorry.
How are you just gonna lie like that?
And then he's like, also, my son did talk, like, this wasn't filmed, but my son literally asked his friend Michael, and Michael's the one filming this interaction with him and his dad. And he's like, Michael, obviously, you know, you were there. Like, he was the one that, like, asked you right away and then asked if it was okay to film. You wouldn't have been okay with him filming. You would have said something, right? And Michael didn't say anything, but, like,
Watch the video.
literally, imagine, if you can, that you were just in this horrible accident, you're the passenger, and your friend's like, are you okay? Here, take this, like, a camera in the face, and then, here, take it and record me. Like,
What?
close, like, obviously I'm being over dramatic, or
Yeah.
I'm dramaticizing that, but, like, and the fact for the dad not to, like, say, like, listen, you shouldn't have been on your phone, or, like, no repercussions, like,
He's enabling
Yeah,
him to
absolutely.
behave like that.
also, unfortunately, or fortunately, there was nobody else in the incident, so he's the only one that's at fault.
Yep.
Like, hydroplaning, he was going in a straight line, and obviously hydroplaning can happen, like, to so many certain situations, like, your tires could have caught, like, if they weren't, like, properly changed, or, like, if they were flat,
Yeah.
or if they weren't rotated, all this, but, like,
He had all these distractions going
he
on.
was
Like,
the only person in the accident. He was the only one driving, so it is his fault.
Yes.
Like, he didn't just hydroplane. He was going straight. It's not like he was turning and then hydroplane. He literally was going straight on, like, a highway.
He was on his phone.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
recorded. It's seen. It's not.
I'm going to post it up here, by the way, just so everyone can see it. This will be
Yeah.
posted because it's not alleged. It's true. He's on his phone. He live streamed this.
And the fact that dad is just. Okay.
defending him, like,
And then he
stand
called
up.
all you haters saying that he wasn't, or that he was on his phone. And it's like, one, you're too old to say haters. And two, I know you want to stick up for your son, but your son almost died and killed somebody else. So maybe you need to, like, actually not enable him.
Discipline him,
Yeah.
you know?
So, yeah.
Something. Or at
He
least
just wants all that money.
On social media, no one's gone through what I gone through just now. Like,
Oh,
I
I
literally
know what
almost
you went
died in a
through.
car accident. I literally almost died, and I'm like, fuck these cars too. At least I still got 2 Lambos. No,
At least, because I get once you're 21, you're a grown adult.
Okay, so I don't know how your parents told you about, like, driving, but my dad literally, like, put into realization. He told me, like, when I first ever got behind the wheel, he's like, this is a weapon. You can actually hurt or kill somebody with this. So take it seriously. Like, don't do A, B, C, and D so that you don't hurt somebody else or yourself.
Right.
And it's like, at least have that conversation with him, because he's also 21 years old. That means he's been driving at least since he's 16 or 15.
Yeah.
He should know better. And he's been driving on golf carts and all these things, which you also need to, like, have the same awareness, because people get hurt on golf carts because you're still in a vehicle that moves very, like, 3 miles per hour is all you need to actually hurt or kill somebody with a vehicle. 3 miles per hour. Because it's
Feels
all
like-
metal.
That's, oh man, it feels like nothing, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like, realistically, he needs to, like, the parents both need to put into perspective, like, what he did was so serious, and not only could it hurt his friend, but hurt him.
I want to hope that after all the cameras were off that they did. I have to at least hope that they gave him some type of talk after that.
I hope he didn't buy another McLaren. He obviously can't handle it.
Or afford it.
I gotta make my money back somehow. Bye.
That's all
Zach.
I need to say about that.
He popped his shoulder out when he was getting pulled out of the car. Like, it didn't end for him when we got in the crash. He literally popped his shoulder out.
They were pulling me out, and like the way they were pulling me, it popped out, and then I was like, oh fuck. So I like sat back in the car for a second, 'cause that's like after I kicked out the window.
Yeah, because I was like, why are you still in the car when all that was happening? And I was like, why is he holding his arm now all of a sudden?
I like that, Maddie. I liked it.
Let's see. His brother. We can bring up that brother, who actually seems to be the most adult.
Sensible?
Reasonable, yeah.
Most adult-like.
I don't know if he's the oldest or younger brother. I
He
didn't get
looked
that information.
older, but
He looked
that-
older, but yeah.
yeah, he looked older.
But he's like the only one that's kind of throughout different podcasts, and I don't know if it was on Dr. Phil or
No, it was
What
on a
was that?
podcast.
It was
Oh,
on
yeah,
a
it was like-
podcast.
2 people. I don't know who they were though.
I don't know what the podcast was, but he was on a podcast and they asked him about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, actually took time and was very methodical. Like, you guys watched the video where, like, he, like, was being asked?
Mhm.
Yes, yep. Asking about being banned and if he learned anything and
Yeah, he's like, how do you feel about your brother being banned off Kick? And he goes, well, obviously my brother was upset because I was, like, one of his, like, main incomes. But I think it was good so that he actually, like, learned something, that he's not invincible.
Yeah.
And I was like, good on you for saying this publicly.
Yeah.
Because you're so right. That, like, hopefully this is a learning situation, that you aren't untouchable. Like, things can happen to you. And he needed that, obviously. Like, I feel like his brother did need, like, to be stopped and not be on Kick. And then even when he was asked, like, oh, do you think your brother should be put back on Kick eventually? He was like, oh, that's a good question. I'm going to have to think a second. He was, like, really, like, methodical before he said anything, but he was very wise about, like, what he said. He's like, I do think he should, but, like, it's hard to have a timeline on this.
yeah.
Because, you know, what if he doesn't learn? Like, if we give the kick back right away, he won't learn his mistake. So he's like, it's just hard on the timeline, but I do think he should be reinstated on Kick. Which I agree if you learn your lesson, but that's just hard to know when somebody learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Right,
what
because you
he
could
did
just
was
give it back to him, and then he does the same stuff all over again.
Yeah.
Or he does it on purpose because he got a lot of clout and a lot of...
Views and
I mean, we're talking
Material
about
from
him, so obviously he's getting
it
something.
made its way around. Yeah.
So he's not a man, he's a child. He's a boy. I'm so sorry.
That's a boy.
You're a boy. You do childish things. You're a child.
His face is like the type that you just want to like punch. Will I get banned on YouTube for saying that?
Yes, it's a threat.
No, it just looks like. It doesn't mean I want to do that. It just looks that way.
It's how you perceive it.
Yeah, it's just how you perceive it.
Sophia, I don't know about that taste.
Sorry.
Look for that.
Is it a boo? Boo! Nah, y'all in the comments would agree with me.
No.
I thought it was great.
See?
I thought it was great. So final thoughts. Or do you have more, Maddie?
I do, in fact, actually have more.
Yes,
But
good.
I think we already kind of went over it. Him making the clickbait, the thumbnails during the crash.
Well, no, he did. So before, I should have put this on yours, but so before the crash, he actually thumbnailed multiple incidents. So like the golf cart one, he said that he got into a crash.
Yes.
And like he actually never got into a crash. It was just him tipping his golf cart over, which is still not great. But he like was saying that I crashed my car. And then he also had one where he's riding a dirt bike with all his friends and he crashed into his car, but no one was in the car. It was just him like running into it. So like he did that multiple times, and then this time he actually didn't have to like clickbait it. It was true. He actually did crash his car.
In fact.
In fact, did crash his car.
Yeah.
He, like-
Reported it.
Multiple times.
Multiple angles, multiple
I don't know why
times.
he didn't edit that part out.
Sure.
Like he
Yeah,
edited out
that's-
other things, but he
It's so
didn't edit that
embarrassing.
out. Like it's on live. People are gonna clock you regardless. Why you gotta edit things? Just post it back on YouTube with all your live stream and just that's
Right,
it.
because people who saw the live are gonna be like, wait a minute, what was that part?
Well, they did with the part where he like gave the person a camera.
Yeah.
He edited that out on YouTube, but he didn't edit out the part where he's like, dude, are you okay? Here, multiple angles. It's like,
Like if you have to edit something out like that, shouldn't you know that what you're doing is maybe not appropriate?
No, it's not right.
honestly, I know people saw it on live, him and his friend, but I feel like he shouldn't even filmed his friend. I feel like he
No.
should've just, this is horrible. I'm not condoning this. I don't think this should actually happen, but I feel like if he was intelligent enough, he would have never recorded his friend that had a bleed and would have just had somebody take his phone and edit out the whole process of him handing somebody his phone, if that makes sense.
If he's gonna be smarter, you gotta be smarter about it if you're gonna
Because
do
the fact that
that.
people saw that he had a friend that was in the car and then two was injured, like, bad move on your part
Yeah.
to like
Right.
not edit all that out. But again, I'm not condoning this. I'm just saying, like, if he was smarter, that's what he. I'm not gonna even continue with that.
could have done.
So yeah, could have,
Put on
could
hold.
have, should have, would have. But so final thoughts.
I would not get in a car with him.
I wouldn't be anywhere near this man if I could help it. Anywhere near him, no.
Oh, wait, the hospital. So, like we talked about, his friend was in the hospital getting, like, I think he was getting sutures, or he must have gotten glue or something, because usually the forehead, they try not to do sutures, because it leaves more of a, like you talked about, Maddie, when you fell during hurdles, that they glued your injury.
Yeah.
They don't usually suture, so I think that he was getting glue, but he definitely was getting some type of, like, something.
Yeah.
They were definitely, like, doing something to his face, because he was bleeding from his head, and it didn't stop, obviously. Like, your head is, like, one of the most, your facial area bleeds the most, and your scalp and your head and everything bleeds the most because of vessels. So, like, I feel like if it didn't stop after a while, that's why they ended up going to the hospital. And obviously, like I said, to get tests for a concussion. But he's literally wearing a hospital gown, and his friend's the one that's getting sutures or glued or something. And it's
I
like,
just had questions about that. I'm like, why does the picture look like this? Why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
You are not injured.
well, he could have been injured, but, like, he didn't show signs of it. But
Yeah.
I feel like, out of all the people, you're the one that's in the hospital gown, literally probably
Yeah.
sitting in a chair going, oh, and this is what made me mad. Sorry, we didn't talk about this part. He literally, while his friend is getting, like, fixed in the hospital and he's filming it, he's, like, talking about how, like, they could have died because he's like, I don't know if you saw the cliff, dude. Like, if there wasn't a ramp there, we would have gone down a cliff and would have died. Like, he's talking about, like, how they could have died in all these situations that were possibilities. And it's like,
Don't talk about this right now.
say that right now when he's the one that got injured from your dumbness.
Did you learn anything?
No. Wait.
Oh my god.
Wait. Sorry. Stuck in my head.
My bad.
But I had it already stuck in my head.
I just want to know what their friendship looks like now after that.
So I have a question. Is it going to be like a situation with Jeff and David Dobrik? Where, like, he does realize that, like, he should have been paid for all this stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about, Maddie?
No.
Oh.
I know David Dobrik.
So yeah, you know David Dobrik. So one of the people that was in his vlog squad was named Jeff Wittick, and he is suing David right now, and initially wasn't suing David, but he's suing David for, so David had this idea to, like, ride an excavation and, like, swing people around in a lake.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
And Jeff Wittick got injured, like, severely. Like, he still gets, like, it ruined his face and his eye. And so, like, he has brain damage and his eye, like, he can't see out of his eye. He has multiple surgeries. Well, he was still diehard, like, for David and all this stuff. And then he found out that David allegedly was doing, like, really shady stuff and, like, wouldn't pay for his hospital bill. And Jeff's like, I don't care about the hospital bill at this point. He goes, I care that David does not care that he permanently injured me for life. And he's not suffering any consequences.
Yeah.
And Jeff, what David said is that Jeff was an employee, so then workers' comp should pay for it. But he's not an employee because he was never getting W-2 forms.
Right.
1098 forms. He wasn't getting any forms, so he's not technically, like, working for you. So he's not under workman's comp, David. You have to pay for him.
Right.
You're the one that injured him.
Correct.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it considered, so then if this is going to keep happening where people are getting injured with a camera person or situations like this, because this was them driving, obviously I don't think he meant to get into an accident.
No.
And hopefully he doesn't ever want to get into an accident again. But, like, do you think this could turn into where his friend Michael now is not going to be his cameraman and may sue him for injury?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't, honestly, Michael, if you want to, he has enough on him just from the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it proves that he was going over the speed limit. He was also, like, on his phone, and he obviously caused bodily harm to him. Like, there's definitely enough that he could sue him
come
for.
back. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Especially if there was injury.
Oh, yeah.
It's documented.
Exactly. So, that's all I had to say. What do you got?
You know, I was thinking, I was like, doo-doo-doo. No, yeah, honestly, like, if Jack pays for his stuff, I feel like maybe they'll work something out. I don't know how that ended up working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, they would have to do something like that for his,
Like
at
for
least from his
Michael's, like
parents.
like his, like helping
Or
his
his hospital
injury.
bill?
Yeah, his hospital bill. Like they had to have paid for that. If not, I feel like it wouldn't work
If
out.
they're not in
Yeah.
the same state, they may not have the same insurance, and so they may not, like, the insurance may not transfer, so it might have been more expensive to go. Because they went to the ER. Like, anytime there's an injury like that, they go to the ER unless they have to have, like, immediate surgery or something. They don't go to a specialist. But, like, he had to go to the ER and probably had to get an x-ray
Right.
of his, like, brain or a CAT scan or to see to make sure he didn't have a concussion or any brain bleed. So,
That's crazy.
and it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's
But
expensive.
David has enough money, so I feel like
Oh.
if he wanted it to be quiet,
Oh, no, David Dobrik did not pay Jeff Wittig out.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like another
And
thing though.
David
Like
makes
if I
so
ever
much
injured
money.
you guys, I've been like, please.
I'd be paying that for the rest of my life. Like,
How can
I don't care how long it would take.
We would never do something like that. I would
No.
not put you guys into harm's
No.
way. That would make me so
I
mad.
would rather drive super slow than you guys get
I
injured.
would rather walk.
I would rather not leave the house if that meant you stayed safe. We stay home.
We all just stay home.
We stay home.
Literally, you know what this makes me think of is when the football game you did not go to. But it's okay. We were walking back, and literally the one time, no offense, Sophia Collins, I love you. But, like, the one time Sophia was not in the wrong for, like, walking across the street wrongly or, like, anything, like, about driving. Sophia's never in the wrong, but driving in directions, she sometimes is in the wrong. But, like, we were walking back from the football game and, like, from going out,
Yeah.
and this person, it's like, it has the person on the sign, so, like, it's our turn to walk. This person makes an illegal right turn and almost hit Sophia. Didn't see her or anything. And I yelled, Sophia, Sophia, and she stopped within, like, inches of getting hit.
I did not know that.
Oh, I told Sophia, I said, because we were literally talking about how, like, I get angry, so that's why I drink, is to calm down in clubs, because I don't like to get touched. And in
Yeah,
clubs, everyone
yeah.
wants to bump into me because I'm tall.
Yeah, no, I hate that shit.
So, like, I guess people like to bump into me because they can't see me even though I'm freaking tall. But okay. And so I was saying, yeah, I drink to, like, calm down in those situations because I know I'm going to get bumped into.
Yeah.
And we were literally talking about how, like, I would get angry. And literally right then I told her, I said, if they hit you, you would have seen me really angry.
I would have
Yeah,
I
that would
would've-
have been a whole
Oh
other.
my gosh. And I told her, I said, it's not like they can't see you. Like, so I was like, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Are you really taking your nails off right now?
I took off this entire hand.
Y'all didn't hear it from us. You didn't hear it
Took
from
off
me.
an entire hand.
I'm sorry.
No, they're so outgrown.
They look cute though. I thought they were cute until you started ripping them off.
Can't help
She's like,
it.
Well,
over
it's
here.
okay. I can't judge. All mine were ripped off, so it's okay.
Mine are overgrown.
Once one falls off, I pop them off.
They're all
See,
gone.
that's where I'm at.
Me.
It hurts.
You're doing great.
But yeah, no, I told Sophia, I said, if something would have happened to you and I, like, didn't say something or pull you back, because I couldn't, like, grab her because my feet were hurting, so I was trying to, like, run to her to, like, pull her back, but I couldn't. So that's why I yelled, and I was like, if something happened to you in that moment where I could have stopped something, I would have been so devastated. Because I would have felt horrible. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm
See,
supposed to
Jack,
be the-
that's a good friend. That's a good friend.
because I could have, I usually see myself as the protector of the group.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, obviously, Julia's the same way,
Yeah.
which we talked about because we're both tall, and so I feel like the tall one has to be the protector of the group. I don't know why. It's just because I can see everything.
It's just an
So I'm like-
assignment.
Doubting.
Yeah, so if being the protector of the group that I see myself as, I would have been so sad if something happened to her that
The
night,
one
and I
time
was
at
the
the
one.
club with me. No, the one for your
My
birthday.
23rd birthday or 24th birthday.
Yeah.
We need to tell that one because that one's hilarious too. It's if you want to tell it, you brought it up.
That's funny. So, long story short, we're out. Where were we? Senior Frogs. Super
Senior
busy,
Frogs.
super fun. This is after drinking. It's getting a little bit later. Natalie, at the beginning, noticed that I had this little crush on the bartender.
No. I said, I go, Maddie, Emily, or Lauren, because they're all single ones. I said, that guy is hot. One of you guys need to talk to him. And then he made a comment about the girl in the pink, who's the hot girl in the pink shirt. Or he said, like, he, like, came around the bar and was like, just so you know, you're, like, the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Like, he said that to Maddie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I was like, okay, Maddie, done. You're the one. You're the one that's getting the number. She didn't want to talk to him.
Because he was a bartender.
I put in all this hard work. I got this man's number for her. Other things occur that we will not talk about, even though it's hilarious. And I told Maddie, I said, girl, he gave you his number. Y'all did some stuff on stage. You need to talk to him and say, hey, we're leaving. Thank you so much. Just so that he knows that you also got his number.
Yeah.
And so she goes, we all go walk up to see her, and then like a cart comes by, and Maddie's gone. Maddie's just gone. And
She's out.
The Pookie. So it's not just us. We're not just the Pookie Angels. There's a lot of us, and you will get to meet them hopefully eventually. More of us, but it was almost all the Pookie Angel group, and Maddie's just gone. So it's like 5 other girls looking for one girl in the senior frogs, and we're walking around. Julia, she literally goes into the
I remember watching from
Madison?
a distance.
Have you seen a girl named Madison? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But there was this one security guard that was like really nice to us the whole time. And he's like, I know who you're talking about. Like, I'll keep an eye out and I'll let you know where she is or I'll bring her to you. And we're like, thank you so much. So, but we all had to follow Julia because Julia was like, no one's leaving me. Or she's like, everyone's going to, she doesn't sound like that, by the way. It was just very funny.
Yeah.
She goes, no one's leaving her. She goes, we're all going to stay in a big group. And so Julia's like, I'm going to go out to the dance floor, see if she went back to where she thought we were. And you guys stay here in the event she comes back. Do not move because I'm coming back. And we're like, all okay. We're like, okay, yeah. Julia's
Okay,
well,
Mom.
Julia walks out. Julia walks out to the dance floor. Madison walks right up to us and goes, hey, where are you guys? Where have you guys been? So Julia goes, and she comes walking back, and she goes, Madison, we have been looking for you.
Okay, to give some clearance too. So when I went to talk to him, say goodnight, whatever, I never saw him again. Never talked to him again. Sorry, Natalie. All the hard work. Bye. But, I said goodbye, and I returned to the place that I left. We were all at the dance floor at this time, and they were all gone. All of them were gone. So I'm looking around like, oh no, this is not good. Like,
but I feel like we could not be missed. I'm sorry, but
I looked around, and it took me only 3 minutes. And then that's when I watched it like a movie scene. Like Julia, I saw her rounding up the troops, and then she proceeds to like storm into the kitchen. I'm like, what is happening? I wonder what they're doing over there. I immediately went to the group and Julia, I will never do that again. I promise.
Just, Julia listens to all our episodes too, so she's going to hear this.
I love you. Miscommunication on my bad. My bad. It was on me.
So funny. Probably one of the funniest things ever.
I need a kid leash. I'm not even kidding.
You do. It was
Yes.
like a scene of a movie. Like we're all we're all together looking for her. We went into the girls' bathroom. We didn't go in the guys' bathroom. We did not think that would occur.
No.
We went to the girls' bathroom. Julia went to the employees. We talked to security. We're like, we are going to find her.
In a matter of minutes, I felt very loved. Like, I didn't want that to happen, but I felt very loved because I turn around and I see the troops having their positions going to. I'm like, this is crazy, Maybe I should go over there.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, no, never again. Julia, I'm going to buy me a kid leash and
You're one of those wrist ones with the key on.
Yes.
That only the mom has it.
Have you seen the balloon?
No, the balloon does not work because I literally was wearing a Mr. Producer hat on top of my head, and Maddie did not see me.
When?
At Senior Frogs, I wore the hat that you had, the balloon hat, and she still didn't see me. She was still lost for 3 seconds.
A balloon of like.
I'll post a photo here of what it was.
An air tag can't go wrong.
How did I pull this guy wearing?
You did it. You gave it to me. So, okay. We're going on tangents. This is why we don't need a fun game every time. This is our fun game, I guess. I told Maddie, I said, hey, I got his number. You need to talk to him. And she goes, oh, I can't talk to him, or I can't have him see me with this hat on. So I was like, I'll wear the hat. It looks like Ryan. So I'll wear it. Mr. Producer. It looks like Mr. Producer. I'll wear it. And she goes, no, okay. So I wore it the rest of the night. You weren't even wearing it talking to him because you made me wear it because you wouldn't wear it in front of him. Well, I'm pretty sure you asked for this or paid for this balloon hat. It was a balloon hat also.
My memory's impaired. I literally thought in my brain, in my like little twisted brain, I was like, I wore that the entire night. All the photos, now that I'm thinking back at it,
Were me wearing it because there's only two of the.
even in the grocery store or whatever we went. Like,
Oh yeah, the liquor store. Even the liquor store, I'm wearing the hat.
you're
That's iconic.
Well, I'm married, so I really don't care what people think about me.
Right.
It's like my husband, so it's pretty funny. He's got his sunglasses and the mustache.
good.
Yes.
2 minutes. Good 15 minutes. And then
Yeah, she wore for like, there's like 3 photos of her, and then the rest are me wearing the hat or holding the hat, and then it ended up in my car, and I didn't get rid of it for like a week, and it like
Yeah.
deflated.
Oh, not the
I was
deflated
Yeah,
balloon
I'm pretty sure
hat.
I posted it in the Pookie Angels group chat. Of
Yes.
it deflated going by Mr. I said, bye, Ryan.
I think you did.
post that photo because they're gonna die. Like it wasn't just like a little thing. Like,
No, it was
like
huge. And I took one for the team, not once but twice that night for Madison.
because I think I was also like, Natalie, you have to keep this too. I wouldn't let you throw it away either.
Well, no, because it was funny because I saw you. I went to the bathroom, came back, and she had this hat on. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like Ryan. And everyone's like, it does. So I was like, oh, we got to keep it. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's
Yeah.
Ryan. It's like Ryan's here. Yeah.
Watching
So
over
cute.
us.
was watching
He
over you.
wasn't watching over us very well because Madison got lost.
Yeah, my bad.
My bad.
If you were wearing the balloon, we would have been able to spot you like that because no one else had that hat.
No.
Oh, that would
That's
have
why I
been
was
easy
like, I don't know
finder.
how you missed me because I'm tall, 1, and 2, I had the hat on.
No, I was just expecting the group to be there. Everyone was gone, so I was like, well,
Gotta go.
Well,
I
shit.
learned to stay placed, so I'm gonna stay here for a minute.
Safe place. Where's my phone? Anyways. Okay. So, closing thoughts. Sorry for our tangents. We hope you enjoyed our tangent
Yeah, that was
stories.
crazy.
You know, if my kids ever act like this,
They're canceled.
they're getting beat.
Oh my god.
No car.
No phone, no camera.
Yeah, literally. If you have a phone, I'm gonna watch you do homework with it, and then it's taken away immediately
You're not
after.
even allowed to have. You know what you get? A flip phone.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
We're going to boarding school.
Yeah, I'm sending you off.
Not kidding.
You're gone.
My kids better not play.
Like, if they make cringe content like this, I would know I would have raised them wrong. So that's my final thoughts on that.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Sorry that we had to kill your brains with this person.
Yup.
But we hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to follow us on
The 3_ Pookie Angels.
Wow.
On?
The 3_
Oh no, she said
on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Follow us.
Spotify.
You can follow us at Instagram. You follow us at
The 3_ Pookie Angels.
and on
Spotify.
follow us at Pookie Angels Podcast.
Thank you.
We post every Monday on YouTube, and we post every
Tuesday.
on Spotify.
Felt like I had to shout. Tuesday. On Spotify.
You know what's crazy? This is our first video, and we have 2 more to film, so that's great for us.
Y'all don't know that though. Which videos is it gonna be?
The
You
one
won't
where
know.
Eddie's nails aren't there.
Yay!
I took them off. All of them, but this one. We're working on it.
We're working on it.
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.